Okay. So Jackie, they're all yours.
Okay, so Lynn, hey everybody, I'm Jackie. I work at the borough office and I have met most of you before. So this is our Zoom session. Lynn created this Zoom room for us. I am not a co-host or a host presently, so I don't have all the features I need. I asked Lynn to keep it that way because I'm going to have her demonstrate how we could be in a meeting and we could make these modifications as we go along. So Lynn is the host. She created this room. Lynn, I'm going to ask you at the bottom of your screen, do you see where you can change some of the controls? Should see.
So I will let you know what I see on my end. I
When
see
you click,
mute,
okay.
stop video, security, participants, chat, share screen, polling, pause, stop recording, reactions, and more.
Okay, so Lynn, I'm going to ask you to click on participants. And I want you to look for my name.
Got it.
Okay. And so what Lynn is doing right now, Lynn clicked on participants. She's going to look for my name. Lynn, next to my name, when you click on it, do you see a blue button that says, gives you like a menu of items?
So when I hover over your name, I see mute and more with a down arrow. When I click on more, it says chat, stop video, spotlight video, make host, make co-host, assign to typed closed captioning, rename, put in waiting room, remove, and report.
Okay, so Lynn, as the host, she went over to the participants, or she could have also clicked on my screen on the menu that we're looking at. She clicked on the more button, and there's a host of items she can choose. She can make me a co-host, or she's going to give me full control as the host. So you can do either one right now. You can make me a co-host or you can make me the full host. That's entirely up to you. Probably make me a co-host so that we can have the same controls. So again, I got a notification on my screen that says that Lynn made me a co-host. The reason you would do that is if you need more than one person in the room to be able to do the same things. So for example, let's say me, Kathy, and Lynn are hosting something and Lynn is presenting. Kathy and I might need controls to man the chat or to be able to record and stop recording. So the idea is that you have a co-pilot. If you don't know who they are beforehand, you can do it while you're in the meeting. So I'm officially the co-pilot here. All right, thanks, Lynn. So now what happened on my end is I have a whole different set of things that I can do at the bottom of my screen. So what you all see on your screen, underneath our pictures, you probably see mute, stop video, chat, and probably the share screen option, even though you probably can't share your screen. So those are the things that you see, and probably reactions. So those are the basic things that you'll be able to do when you are not the host or co-host of a meeting. So what I'm going to do right now is very briefly share my screen. Give me a second. Okay. Okay. So I shared this this presentation with you the other day. I'm just going to keep on adding to it. I think that's probably the best bet in terms of kind of keeping everything in one area. So this is what I mentioned before about the toolbar. So this is the toolbar that I see as the host, right? So we all have mute, we all have stop video, but I have more stuff on mine, and so does Lynn. So these are the things that we're able to do, and you will be able to do when you create your own Zoom meetings, okay? One of the things, this is a norming slide that I like to have up during my sessions. I do ask that everybody, keeps themselves on mute, which you would click here, but also to, keep the conversation going inside of the chat, because those are important things, but we also want to be respectful of each other and the background noise that is happening. Like I said, I'm asked Lynn before if she can listen to my background, tell me if it's not too loud, but we're good to go. But this is essentially the toolbar that you will see. Also, one of the features that I like about Zoom is that you can mute everyone all at once. So if by any chance, you need to kind of do a clean sweep we can mute everybody all at once. And again, I'll bring you into a separate, I'll show you what it looks like in a meeting that I'll start from scratch. So you can get the full effect of it. This is the presentation link. You probably all have this already, but Lynn, if you could just drop that into the chat at any point in time. What we'll do is we'll save this recording. Lynn is recording this, and the recording will live on our Zoom account. It'll live on Lynn's Zoom account, so she'll be able to access it, download it at any point in time, and it comes in different facets. So you'll be able to see the recording with the transcript. There's another recording with just the screen that you're seeing. There's another recording with just the, so it's all different types of recordings based on this one that we're doing that you can choose from when you want to share it out and save it for future use. All right, so I'm going to get out of here, out of full screen mode. And I'm going to bring you to a link that you're probably going to use frequently. So this is the DOE Zoom information page. So we'll take care of some of these pieces before we go into the actual platform. So this is on the slide deck, and I suggest that you use this as a reference. This goes through all the information that you will need on getting started and using Zoom. So it has the FAQs on here. What does the Zoom platform let us do? How do I sign in? What if I already have a Zoom account? So to Sal's point, right? This is sort of what you would do. You're going to have to mesh your old account, which actually not old. You're going to mesh the account with the new one. And I'll show you where that is once we go over to the Zoom platform. Okay. Is there live streaming? Is it safe? So these are all of the frequently asked questions that you're going to want to keep at hand and use as a reference when talking about Zoom. So again, the DOE paid for Zoom. It's an enterprise account. We have all the bells and whistles. However, we can't make any changes at the district level. At DIIT level, the central level, they can make modifications to what we get and what we see. Initially, when we started with Zoom and they paid for it, we had a little bit tighter restrictions, but right now they've sort of released controls and given us a little bit more in terms of what we could use inside of Zoom. So always kind of, look around, see if there's anything that looks different, because they periodically will add new things to it. All right. So how do we get to the Zoom platform? So what you're going to do is in your browser window, where I am right now, up here is your address bar. You type in nycdoe.zoom.us. This is how I like to get there. I think this is the easiest way. You can also get there from the Teach Hub. So the Teach Hub is where all of the DOE purchased and enterprise pieces will be. So you can also go into Teach Hub. You can tell families that as well. They can access Zoom through Teach Hub, or again, for me, I like to go to nycdoe.zoom.us. Okay, I'm gonna hit. Okay. And then this is the homepage that you will land on. So for those of you, Sal and Maytel, you were talking about kind of setting up your account. This is where you would start. You would come over here, see where it says configure your account, and you would click sign in. There are prompts, which I can't show you because I've already done it, but step-by-step prompts, very easy, asking you, do you want to connect your account? And you just type in your DOE email, and it's going to ask you to verify in your DOE email. They'll send you a message saying, do you want to connect the accounts? And all you have to do is just follow the prompts and you'll be good to go. So that'll be the very first time you're configuring your account. For any other time, once it's configured, you come to this page again and you click sign in. This is how it's going to look. I'm already signed in, but for those of you who are doing it, again, you're signing in today, it'll bring you to that DOE page where it asks you for your username and your DOE password. So that's what you would put in. I put in J Patanio, and then whatever my password is. Lynn puts in whatever her DOE is without the at schools. So what are you, Lynn? You're a C. So she would put in C Baldessano in the username, and then whatever her password is for the DOE. So again, the idea is that the single sign-on, we're using our DOE email to get us in to all these DOE paid platforms. Same thing for students. They're going to be using their nycstudents.net. So for example, my son, if he was going on to his Zoom meeting, for his username, I would put, of course, I can't remember it right now. It's saved in my phone, but whatever, Jordan E. Or J. Epstein, and I would put in his password, and that would get him into his Zoom account as well. So once you're in Zoom, let me just minimize myself. Okay. You wind up here, which is your landing page. This is where you control the meetings that you have and the meetings that you could join a meeting from here, or you can decide you're going to host or schedule a meeting from here. So over on the left, I have this menu. It has me automatically in meetings, but I'm going to start up here with profile. So your profile essentially is, it pulls in the school that you're in. So my location was labeled the Richmond Field Sports Center at the time. So that's my location and then my account number. I opted to put my photo in, so I know, I know which account I'm in. And then it goes through my details. So everybody will have a personal meeting ID. Everybody has a personal room that is assigned to them forever. So this right here, this is my Zoom link. So anytime I have a meeting, this is the link that goes out to everyone. Okay. And then this is the password that goes along with it if I decide to have it password enabled. But if I'm giving somebody this particular link, then they don't need the password to get in, because if they're signing in through the schools.nyc.gov, or if it's a student signing in through nycstudents.net. So if we're within that domain, we're staying within there, everybody could access it unless you change the permissions. So this is just the profile. This just shows you your personal stuff, okay? Again, we talked about meeting capacity last week, and that tells you right here, 300 people as we discussed. Okay? And again, here's your sign and password, but your password is linked to your DOE email, so don't worry about that. I'm gonna head back up and I'm gonna head on over to meetings. So this is where you can do your scheduling of your meetings. You'll see that I have 2 meetings already planned. I have these 2 that are recurring. So I have them set up to go on for a certain amount of time. Okay. And when I hover, see my mouse, I could start them and I can edit them at any point in time that I need to. But we'll start off with scheduling a meeting. So I'm going to click schedule a meeting. And we just go through the move of creating the topic link. So this might be PC meeting, PC demo meeting. I give a description or not, depends on who your audience is and what you want to tell them. I can make it for a later date by clicking here, right? Or I can just leave it as is. To be honest with you, this is just so that if you share this out with someone in a calendar invite, it'll give them the date and the time. But you could start this meeting whenever you want. So I could say that this is a meeting for today at 1 o'clock, but realistically, if I decided, you know what, I want to have it earlier, I can just start the meeting whenever I want. This part is just for calendar purposes, like when you're sharing it out with families or somebody else. So I will leave it as September 8th at 1 p.m. Again, I could choose the duration. This is just for your guests because you can keep going past the 1 hour mark. It's not going to matter. Your time zone is automatically set. You decide if it's recurring. So if it's a one-time meeting, you leave it unchecked. If you want this to be a standing Tuesday meeting, you click recur, and then you could make the changes that you need. So weekly, once a week on Tuesdays. Okay. So this part just takes a little bit of playing with and kind of tinkering with, depending on how you want your recurring settings to be. You might just want to do a new one, you know, every time you have a meeting the first time. So that's entirely up to you. I'm going to leave it as recurring weekly. And then I can have it end, let's say I want it to end I'll have it end in December. Okay, December 8th. Okay. And then that's when it will stop on my end. Okay. So registration, not something I use because I don't need to, but if you put this on, this is going to require folks to register for the session. That's up to you. I've been a participant where I've had to do this, but that's up to you if you want to have people register for your sessions. And I'm going to uncheck it for now. Again, it's not something that I use frequently because we have people sign up through a different method. This right here, this is my passcode that is automatically created for my room. Okay? And I can't, you'll notice, see this? I can't uncheck it. So if I hover over it, these are, like I said, some of the settings that are higher up, and I cannot undo this. Okay. I also can't uncheck the waiting room. So this is only going to really affect people who are not in the domain. So anybody that you invite in that's a guest, or if somebody's using a personal Gmail, not the DOE, this is where they'll have to put in the passcode and they'll be put into a waiting room. Okay. So that's to help you and help schools not have people come in that are random or going to Zoom bomb or do whatever. So that's a layer of security, but you'll notice that you cannot uncheck these things. And those are higher controls. I'm going to scroll down. Video, you can have the video be automatically off or on when you enter a room. It'll prompt you. So like when you come in, it'll say, do you want to turn your video on? That's a good thing. I personally, again, keep it like this because I like to have the option in case my house is in chaos. So, but you can have it where it automatically goes on for anybody and for yourself when they come into your meeting. That's entirely up to you. But I have mine set as off so that I can make the decision whether or not I want to turn it on and off at my own discretion. Your audio.
So you have a quick question in the chat. Kim wants to know, can family use the student's ps22.org account? Is that associated with Zoom?
Yes. Yep. Oh, wait, say that again. I'm sorry. I answered a question that was in my head. Go ahead.
Can families use the student's ps22.org account?
They should be able to, because all schools, to my understanding, have whitelisted their Google domains. So anybody that PS22, your domain should have been whitelisted, I'm pretty sure, with the DOE. So there shouldn't be a problem at all with them coming into the Zoom for schools.nyc.gov. That goes for all schools.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So again, we're down here with the audio. You're going to allow both because obviously you might have some people who are on phones, and I do believe we have some people who are on phones today. So you want to leave that on. Meeting options, do you want to enable join before host? So that's up to you. You might want to uncheck that. So what that means is anybody in the domain can kind of get in the meeting before you do. So if you don't want people to be able to get into your meeting before you want to check that off. Okay. So we'll keep that unchecked. Again, you can't change this. So this is automatic. You're going to be muted as soon as you come into a meeting, and well, your participants will be muted as soon as they come into a meeting. This cannot be changed. Don't click this. And then breakout rooms are pre-assigned. So breakout rooms are something that we'll look at really briefly. But breakout rooms, the things that we can do inside of the Zoom right now, and we're going to experiment with it. You can decide, if you click on this, you could set up those breakout rooms yourself. So if you knew coming into a meeting, you wanted to have 2 groups, and one room would be for parents who are K-2, parents who are 3 to 5, and you knew who those parents were, you could pre-assign rooms right here. But we're not going to worry too much about that today. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Lynn, what we did before, I asked Lynn to make me a host while we were in the meeting, which I generally like to do, that way. Otherwise, what you can do is you can kind of pre-select who your hosts will be before having the meeting. They have to have a registered account though. So how I walked you through that scenario earlier where you need to configure your accounts, those accounts need to be configured before you could put anybody's email in here. So Richard needed to set his accounts up. Jackie needed to set her accounts up. Otherwise, this would have given me an error message. But the point is that I have already set them up to be alternative hosts inside of my meeting before I started it. It's just easier for me that way instead of starting it and then assigning them afterwards. Okay. This feature is newer to me. I have not used this. Let's see, enable language interpretation. Haven't used it, but we'll see. Oh, okay. This is where you bring in the interpreter. Okay. All right. This is a newer feature. So you'd have to actually put in the person's email address that was coming in. Okay. Sorry, Lynn, I'm thinking out loud as we do this.
That's okay. We're learning together.
Yeah. Because like I said, there are things that pop up in here that are newer and I'm like, hey, it's great. Okay. So once that was a little bit long, I apologize, but that's how you set up a meeting. Essentially, that's how you schedule your meeting. And then you come down, very important, click save. So now it's going to bring me back to this page. So this is like what the meeting invite will look like once it's created. Okay. I gave it the name, this, the time, right? This is where you can either add this to your calendars. So I can click on one of these and it'll push it out to my calendars. And then I'm gonna scroll down. This is the invite link. This is the money one. This is what you're going to do. You're going to either copy this, right? And you could paste this into an invite in your DOE email or your Google email, whatever it is, or you could simply click copy invitation. It will copy this gigantic, memo and send it out. And you could paste this into an invite as well. I tend to just copy this and share this with people, but you can, by all means, copy this full invitation and put this into an invite as well. That's up to you.
So
Okay.
a quick question on that, Jackie.
Yep.
If they were to copy the link and then send it out as an email, but they would also have to supply the password alongside that link.
They don't.
They don't.
You shouldn't have to. When you have, this is like a unique link.
Okay.
That you shouldn't have to send the password. The password should only, you could send the password with it to be safe, but I'm like 99% positive that if we're all in the domain together, if we're all in our schools, or if we're whitelisted, you don't need the password.
But if this were an invite sent to parents and they're using personal email addresses, then the password needs to be sent.
Correct. Yes. Which is why I say your best bet is to probably just copy this whole thing. Or
Right.
if you want to copy anything, come down to this part. See this? Like copy just this if it becomes, because it's a lot of stuff on there. So you head down to the join Zoom meeting and just kind of copy like the smaller, as little as you can to send it out to your families, because whenever we get, I don't know if you've ever gotten these gigantic, copy and paste, it's a lot. So the least amount of stuff that you put into an invitation is easier. All right. So like I said, this is this is kind of your overview of what the meeting looks like. So again, like I said, I have it slugged to start for 1 o'clock, but I could start my meeting right now if I wanted to. But just to bring you back to my meeting so you could see how it looks in order. There it is. So here's my PC meeting, and I have it set to occur, remember, for every Tuesday for however long. So every single session is set up right here, and we'll live here until I decide that I want to delete it. And if I want to edit it at any time, I come into edit. I could edit this occurrence, or I could edit all of them overall. So I'm going to click edit overall, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just uncheck the reoccurring meeting. So it's very simple to just go in and edit at any point in time, and it will make the modification for you. So I'm going to head back over to my meetings, and you'll see that all of those recurrings that I had going down are now gone. I'm going to start the meeting. because I want you to see what I see. Okay, so I'm going to click start. I'm going to click open in Zoom. I'm already, poop. All right, hold on one second. I'm going to launch it in. So what'll happen is you have the option to launch it either in the web browser or to launch it in the downloaded app. So presently I am in the app on my computer, so I cannot launch it in the app. However, I'm going to launch it from my browser. So you have the option to do it either way. You can launch it from your browser, or you can launch it from a downloaded app that's on your computer. So remember before I had said, I want to have my audio off. This is where that comes in. So when I come into the meeting, it's going to ask me, do I want to join by audio? So I'm gonna have to click that in order for it to work. Also, my camera at the bottom is automatically off by default as well. So I'm gonna turn that on. I'm very meta right now. I'm sharing my screen, seeing myself in two different places. Love this part. So some of the things inside of the web browser look a little bit different than when you have the downloaded version, but it is what it is. You have the same like features. You have the same things that you could do. It just looks a little bit different. So you as the participant, we have our mute, we have our stop video. These are all the bells and whistles that I mentioned to you before, right? The chat feature, the record, your closed captioning. This is going to be important for accessibility. If you have anybody who does need the closed captioning feature, I would suggest turning this on during your meetings. It also records it, so it'll be available in your recordings. And then you have the more. So anytime you see 3 dots, you should have more options in here. And presently, all of this is the only other feature I have inside of here. Okay. Inside of this, I'm going to go over to where it says manage participants. So I am the only person in here. All right. I'm the only one in here. I, as the person who is in charge, if I want to mute everyone, what I would do is I click on manage participants, and I would be able to click over here, and there's a button that says mute all. So see down here at the bottom, if I had 20 people in here and I was like, wow, there's a lot of background noise, but I don't know who it is, I could just simply click mute all, right? And it would mute everybody. Obviously it's not going to mute me because I'm the only person in here, but just to give you the feeling, I could click mute all and it would shut everybody off. And right here would be there would be a red line through the microphone, and if I shut off my camera, it would be through my camera as well. So I can actually mute myself. You see that there's the red line and the red line through my camera. So that's how you know that that's how you know you're muted, or that you've muted everyone. There'll be that red dash through it. Okay? The other thing I can do in here, which is important, is that I can invite people while I'm actually in here. So if I forgot, somebody doesn't have the information, I click on the invite button. I could either copy the URL, or I can copy the full invitation and send it to them. If you have your email set up and connected to your computer, you can do it this way, but I don't have it set up on my Mac and I don't like the way it happens. So what I do is I copy the URL and I just head over to my mail, and I just usually paste it into email somebody, or I throw it in a text and I send it out that way. But you could be inside of a meeting and pull somebody in. Okay. So that's my participants. I am going to, what else do I want to show you here? Okay. So you could rename yourself. You should be able to rename yourself on a meeting as well. So if by any chance you came in as anonymous, or as admin, or as NYC-DOE, which sometimes happens depending on the device you're on, you should be able to go to your name, click rename, and change what your display name is on the meeting, so that people know who you are, which is very helpful because a lot of times you want to see which parents are actually at the meeting and who you're engaging with. I'm going to close out, so I can either come over here and click on manage participants again, or there's a little arrow right here. I can click close. I'll close this out. Over here, you see where it says share screen. So this is what I'm doing for you right now. I clicked share my screen, right? And it gives me the option. So again, it's going to look different if you're using the web app versus the downloaded version. But when you click share your screen, you will be prompted to either share your entire screen, an application, or a browser. I'm going to give you what I like to do. I tend to do my entire screen. You tap on it once and you click share. It just makes life a little bit easier so that you know that everybody is seeing what you're seeing. So that's actually what I'm doing right now on the meeting that Lynn started. I'm sharing my entire screen with you so you can see everything. I'm really thankful that nobody is text messaging me right now because you would also see that as well. It gets a little embarrassing sometimes. If somebody's having an issue with sharing, that might mean that it's disabled. So technically only the host of the meeting can share their screen and the co-hosts. So if somebody says, oh, I can't share my screen, it's telling me I'm not allowed to, the way you would enable somebody to share their screen if they're not able to is you would come over here next to share screen. It's got a little caret up, okay? And what you would do is you would enable, I have it as you could do one participant shares at a time, multiple participants can share simultaneously, or I can click on advanced settings, which is what you'll do. And you'll click who can share. You want it to be all participants. If that is indeed if you want people to be sharing their screen. So again, think about if you have, you're inviting guests in or of that nature. If they can't share their screen, just know that this is where you would go. So you'd come over here next to share screen, click advanced sharing options, and make sure that it's on all participants can share, okay? Only host would just be either the co-host or the host of the meeting. Okay? That's where that is. Here's your chat feature. So like Lynn is manning the chat right now, like we usually tag team these type of things. You come into a chat and you say, hi, you have a conversation in here. You are also able to send messages to specific people. So generally it will go to everyone and you'll see me to everyone. If you want to message it to somebody in particular, you can click on this, you come over here and you could send it to a host. You could send it to a specific person inside of the meeting. So if it's a message just for Lynn, I might just click on Lynn's name and it'll be in red. It'll say privately to Lynn. So you'll know that you're sending it to her. Just be careful if you're writing something that should be private and goes out to the whole crew. You don't want to get yourself into any trouble. So just be aware of who the message is going out to. One of the things in here that I think that we don't, you have the raise hand feature. So I don't know if I could demonstrate this on here because I'm the only one in. But if you guys go over into, the Zoom that you're in, right? And you go into the chat, you should see the ability to raise your hand. Lynn, do you see that? Lynn sees it. Okay. So the reason you would use the raise hand feature, I sometimes use it when I have a lot of people in a meeting. And again, if I'm tag teaming with someone, I might say, if you have any questions, instead of, unmuting yourself, just do me a favor, raise your hand in the chat so we know that you have a question. And then Lynn will ask you to either unmute your mic, or she might ask you to pop your question in the chat and she might read it for you. There's different ways of going about using the raise hand feature, but the raise hand feature is there. And once you raised your hand, you also need to lower your hand. So you'd have to click on it again in order to make your hand go down. And I'm notorious for leaving my hand up throughout the meeting for the whole entire time. And I get called on 20 times and I'm like, oh, I forgot again. But yeah, no big deal. Another thing that Lynn did just now, I asked her, I said, Lynn, let me shut this off. I said, Lynn, did you see that? And what she did was she gave me a reaction. So at the bottom of your screen, which again, I don't have on here because I'm on the web version. At the bottom of your screen, you might see something that says reaction. So it's on the downloadable version, and a reaction is either a thumbs up or a clap. So you can give somebody a reaction if, you know, we're asking folks to, oops, I'm asking you to kind of give me, you know, what do you think of the session so far? I might say, give me a thumbs up if you think it's going well. Lynn, if it's going well so far, give me a thumbs up. There we go. Okay, and Lynn gave us a thumbs up. So those are your reactions. Again, these are just the bells and whistles that you can use to effectively manage your participants inside of a meeting. Last thing that I will show you on here, actually it's not the last thing, the last two things. Here's the record button. So again, we talked about being able to record. So I clicked record, and I know that it's recording because it is now red, and in the top left corner it says stop recording. So that means that I am live at this moment. It is good practice, Lynn did it at the beginning of the session, to make sure you notify everybody that you will be recording. If they don't want to be on camera, you know, they could shut off their camera. We do encourage folks to keep their cameras on. If they can, you know, maybe when they're speaking, or if they want to share something, it's obviously, you know, if you don't feel comfortable, then by all means, you know, have it shut off. But just for the engagement piece, because we do like to see each other and kind of miss being in real life with everybody. Once we're done recording and we're good to go, we click stop and see what it says. And you'll receive an email notification when the cloud recording is ready. What's happening on the back end is that this recording is being saved where I was earlier, where I created the meeting. And I'll bring you over there to show you some of the recordings that I have. Okay. And last but certainly not least, we are able to, and you can't do it on here, but I am going to talk you through it on the other version. I'm going to stop. I'm going to end this. I'm going to end the meeting for all of us who are in my Jackie meeting. Okay. And I'm going to come back over to my Lynn meeting. Give me a moment and stop sharing. Okay. Okay. So we can change our backgrounds, and, you know, it might sound kind of silly, the whole idea of the background changing, but it could be a very therapeutic thing. It could be, you know, people want to show their emotion by having a different background up, or maybe they don't feel comfortable with showing their space. So having backgrounds in Zoom could be something that helps families, helps teachers, helps kids, whatever it is. But you're able to change your backgrounds inside of Zoom. So the way to do that, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to talk you through it because I can't really show you because when I share. Lynn, were you able to see me doing the stop and muting when I was sharing, or no?
Somewhat, yeah.
All right, I'm going to try again and just yell at me. Yell at me if you can see, because I want to see if I can demo this while, let me share it. Hold on one second. Okay. So do you see these controls up here that I'm pushing towards, that I'm pointing at?
Yes.
Okay. So the controls that I'm pointing out are also at the bottom of your screen. So Lynn just changed her background. I'm going to change my background. So what we do is we look for the caret, the arrow pointing down next to stop video, right? And it says choose your virtual background. Okay. I now have, Lynn, do you see this?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure everyone is seeing this. It brings me to my backgrounds. There are pre-slugged backgrounds that you have already here that are embedded into Zoom, or you could simply go on the internet, pull up any image you want, and you could put it in here. The way you could pull it in from your computer, over here, you see this, if I hover over it, the plus button, it says add virtual background image. it's going to open up all of my files. So I could pull in any picture I have on my computer. So if I save something from Google, I could put it right here and it'll upload onto this. But for purposes of today, I have a whole bunch. I'm going to click on this one. You know, this is my favorite. This is my layer. This is my special room background, my witch's layer. One of the things to note, if by any chance your screen looks funny, it might be because you have this checked off at the bottom where it says I have a green screen. See, if I check it off, I'm like melded into the screen. You want to make sure that is unchecked. Okay, so now you can see yourself. You can also mirror your video, or so I can click on this. It depends on how whatever you're showing. So if you need it to be mirrored, you would keep it on. If you don't need it mirrored, you would uncheck this. But again, this one doesn't matter as much as this one. I have a green screen because if you have this checked off, you're not going to see yourself. And that's that. If you want to shut your background off, you click on none and we have nothing. But I will go back to leaving mine on for the time being. Wow. Okay. Lots of stuff. I am going to head on over to where the recordings live. So because that's what we're doing today, I want to make sure that we get to that. Let me make you smaller real quick. Okay. So I'm still in my dashboard. I see myself. I see host a meeting. I'm going to head on over to, so what I did there was I just clicked on my face. I clicked over here. Oops. I clicked on my face and it brought me back to my profile. So this is where we are. Recordings is where your recordings that you have done, like the one Lynn is doing right now, will live. So if I click on recordings, it will give me, here we go. So I gave this one a name, the one that we just did together, okay? And it tells me that it's going to auto delete in X amount of days. So the idea is that if you want to keep it, you will have to download it, okay? So what I will do is I can come over here and I can click share. So I can share it this way with people and they will have to, this is password protected. So this is very important for anybody to view this. They will have to have the password. So that is where you would click share. If you come over to more, 2 files to download. So I could just download them right from here, or if I click on it, I could see what the downloads are. So I could see what my options are. So I have, this is the first one. I could download speaker view only. I could download audio only, but I would want to download the speaker view because that was the whole kit and caboodle. That's my face. That's the chat. The audio only would just be us speaking over it. It wouldn't be everything, everything that we're actually seeing. And then the audio transcription is whatever I was saying is going to also be available for you to share as well. So if you do need to have that translated, you can download that and have that translated. All right. I have other stuff that I can go through, Lynn, like some other pieces, but oh no, wait. There is one more thing I want to do. One more thing. I do want to go over breakout rooms, if that's okay. And then we could do fielding questions. So let's see, I can do it from here. Can I? No. Lynn, can I ask you for a favor? Can you share your screen? And can I talk you through it so that everybody can see? Perfect.
Yes, you can.
All right. So Lynn's going to share her screen and I'm going to talk over it.
Sorry, just give me a second. It's asking me to update my preferences for my screen.
Oh, you gotta love that. So there we go. All right. I had to do the same thing. I had to like allow it. It was, I mean, I guess it's good. All the stuff. All right. So, Lynn is showing us her, oh wait, you know, hold on, wait. I'm starting to think that what I wanted to do wasn't what I wanted to do. Can you click on Zoom at the bottom?
This is what I'm getting.
Oh no, you're sharing your screen. Oh God. I understand. Yeah. All right. I whatchamacallit, I wanted to unshare your screen for a second. I'm sorry, don't kill me.
You want me to share it again?
No, I had a thought on how I wanted to share, but okay. I'm just going to, Lynn, do you have the, I don't have the ability to do my breakout rooms. Do you have your breakout rooms? Do you see yours on the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen. Lynn is going to, so Lynn, I forgot, this is one of the downfalls of not making me a host. Lynn is the host, so she could do the breakout rooms.
I can make you a host.
Yeah.
I can make
you
you
want me? Okay.
Yeah. If
Okay,
it's easy for everyone to watch you do it by you being the host, absolutely, I can make you.
Okay. Okay, so Lynn's going to make me the host because as the host, that is the only person who can make breakout rooms. Okay, that was the problem. So now Lynn has made me the host. I got a notification. I am now in charge of the meeting. Big responsibility. So I am able to make breakout rooms. So I'm going to go back to sharing because I think that was probably the issue I was encountering and as to why I couldn't show you. Okay. All right, here we go. So right now on my screen, I could push you out to breakout rooms by looking at my toolbar up here. If you were the host and you were doing breakout rooms, you're not sharing, the breakout rooms would be on the bottom. And it's represent.
No toolbar visible right now.
No, I have a toolbar up on top of my screen as the host, but when I stop sharing, I'll kind of point it out to you again. Your toolbar where you have like the video, stop video, start video, all that jazz. When you are creating your own meeting, you're going to see a thing that says breakout rooms, okay? But for me right now, to make the breakout rooms, I would have to come up here to more, and it says breakout rooms, okay? And what it wants me to do is it'll automatically split you up into rooms of 4. I could change that. I can make it rooms of 5, right? Okay, and it will just kind of pull everybody out. So I will make it, I'll do 5 rooms, or I could do it manually. Like I said before, you could put specific people into specific rooms if you want. So if I click manual, it's taking forever for this to load. Okay, if I do manual, I'm gonna have to pull you each into a specific room. There might be a purpose for it. It might be because I want all my younger grades to go in one room and all my upper grades to go into another. But I can manually do it, okay? And I could also change the name of the rooms. So if I come over here, I can call this K to 2. I can change this one would be 3 to 5. This one would be 6 to 8. And this one, 9 to 12, okay? And then this one, I'm just gonna delete room 5, okay? So I could decide what the room names are, and then I would have to start assigning everybody into them. So I click assign. Lynn, you see this? Everyone sees it? Like the names on the side?
No.
Oh, shoot. Okay, so.
That's what I was saying, there's no.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not, you know what the problem is? They don't, okay. I'm gonna do a screencast of this part and share it with everyone because you can't do it live because I guess I forgot the whole idea is that you guys don't see what's going on behind the scenes. So this part, let's just forget what I just said. I'm gonna make you a screencast of what I just said so that you could actually get a feel for the whole kit and caboodle. But what I will do is I'm going to push you out into breakout rooms just for the heck of it, so you can see what that looks like. Okay, so I'm going to do it automatically. I'm going to push you out into rooms. Don't worry about what's going to go on in there. Just a button's going to pop up that says join the room, and you're just going to do as it says. Okay, there you go. So once something pops up, you're going to go out into them. Okay, is there anybody in here who is having an issue? Please let me know. I'll be happy to move you over.
So a question on the recording. Will it follow me into the breakout room or will it
Nope.
pause? Okay.
It is only recording me. That's perfect that you answered that. I was like, I wanted to broadcast that, but it is only recording the main room. So only recording me staring at myself right now. But so, yeah, so the breakout rooms will not be recorded. You obviously were in your breakout rooms. It gave you a heads up, like, okay, your breakout room is going to end. You have 60 seconds. So you could have either clicked, just leave the room right away, or at the end of 60 seconds, what's going to happen is everyone automatically gets pulled back in. So it's a nice way to control what is happening. I was also able to broadcast. Just give me a thumbs up if you saw my message come through. It probably popped up somewhere on your screen. Good. Yeah, so you're able to, as the person who's hosting the meeting, when you're kind of manning that room, you can message out and broadcast to everybody, like, you know, you have, this is your 2-minute warning. I'm going to be pulling you back. You could put in prompting questions to broadcast to the rooms. So it is definitely a great feature, a nice way to control the way you push out and the way you pull back in. All right, so I'm going to stop because we are just about at time, and I do want to field any questions. We can go into more depth. Like I said, I'll make you that video on what I see on my back end for the breakout rooms. And again, you can either pop your question into the chat. You can go on in and raise your hand. Otherwise, I say thank you. And you can message me, Teams me. I'll do meets with you all day. Meets, Zooms, help you get up and running, whatever you need.
Thank you. I missed the bit where you made those fabulous backgrounds for yourselves, but I know that we have our other thing at 12:30, so maybe I'll message you separate or something, or just rewatch this since it was recorded.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. So what is yours? Are you Harry Potter or something?
It's a nice, my witch's lair.
Wow. Love it. Love it. I'm doing the school.
If only that were a background.
Thank you.
Okay, I have limited to, I'm unable to raise my hand also. So I think, is it my view maybe that I have limited options at the bottom? Like I can't change either and I can't raise my hand.
So if you're on, it could sometimes be, it could be that are you on the web version?
No. I am on no, I'm not. I'm on the other. So that was the question. Check 1, 6, to put one offer more, what's the word? Like I just, because I see that everybody was able to do things that I couldn't do. So I don't know why. I'm just looking at the bottom. All I see is reactions, share screen, chat, and participants.
So I think I might be able to field this one on, do you have the participants in your chat visible on the right-hand side?
No.
Okay, so if you open your participants and your chat so that there is now a column, you can see there should be a little banner that says yes, no, go slower, go faster, and then more.
Oh, I see that now.
If you hover over more, it's thumbs up, thumbs down. There's a coffee asking for a break, time, and applause. There isn't a hand raise. That's generally where you'll find the hand raise feature.
I don't see, you know, it's strange. My hand raise isn't here either.
It's not on mine either.
It's not. And you know what? It could be that
Well,
No,
it could be
we-
that when I created the meeting, I selected don't allow hand raise.
oh, well then there we go. Then that's why.
It
All
could
right.
be because I remember that being an option, but I don't think I unchecked it.
No,
So everything I should have, you know, when I'm on a meeting, I'm like, I don't know, I can't raise my hand. But now I see it. I'm gonna try it. See it?
all right.
Okay.
So you did raise your hand, Kathy.
You saw that. Okay, good.
Yes.
Mhm.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Well, if I guess we'll be able to get the recording over to them. It actually might wind up in my account now. So if it's in my account, I'll let you know. If it's in your account, you let me know.
I will.
All right. Have a great
Thank
day,
you,
everyone.
Jackie.
It's
Thanks,
nice
Jackie.
seeing you. Good luck this week and next week.